What's good, folks? We back, and today we're gonna be talking about The Walking Dead. Listen, this game, it probably made you cry. I know it made you cry. It even probably made you hit TV, at least in my case. And it even probably made you question every decision you made in your life. But it also did something else. It ghosted you. So, we talking about 10 setups that never paid off in The Walking Dead. First up, we got Where's Christina? Listen, after getting separated from Clem in the early season 2, Christina just vanished, like gone. And we ain't getting no follow-up, no emotional reunion, nothing like that. And you can't tell me she ain't have a good story worth following. Listen, she got a whole baby. If you remember, she was pregnant and on me was the father. And then, I could just imagine right now, AJ meeting up with Christina's son, who know me Jr. Hey, I'm just saying that would be a good story. And this probably something that nobody actually think about. But if you actually look into it, season 1, Clementine, she was 11 years old. And in the final season, she like 16, 17? I think 16. But that means that Christina's kid and AJ, they would be the same age. So, hey, that could be some type of rivalry right there. I'm already seeing it right now. Listen, that is if she ain't get eaten. Hopefully she ain't get eaten. But the next thing I want to talk about is the mysterious war that Lily kept hyping up. Like, you remember, in the final season, she once showed up about the enemy group they were fighting. It was first brought to our attention because of Abel. Listen, he was telling us how ruthless they are, how they don't care about nobody, they make him look like an angel. And for me, I want to see that. I can't lie, I want to see that. That's something that we never really got to see them on screen, and we never got to know anything about it. And to be honest, this might change our whole view on this entire story if we got to see what they were facing. Listen, we don't even know why they was up in war. They just said they was up in war and we need soldiers. Like, they ain't give no explanation. They ain't dig deep into it. Listen, in my head canon, they were fighting the Andy St. John brothers if you left them alive. But I already made a video about that. Now we talking about the worst heist crew ever. Listen, we talking about Mike, Bonnie, and Arvo. After they shot Clem, stealing all the supplies, Mike and Bonnie and Arvo, they just dipped. No follow-ups, no consequences, no where are they now, my top. Like, we ain't get nothing. Looking back on it, I wish Kenny would have hawked them down. That would have been a whole nother scene right there. You over here trying to drive them off the road. Listen, I don't even think there's a single mention in any other game past that about Arvo and Bonnie, and it's kind of like they just kind of forgot about it. And it leaves a lot to be desired. Listen, I wouldn't even mind if they would just show Mike and Bonnie and Arvo, you know, I don't even care about everybody, just so Arvo's Walker or something like, ooh. But before I get too heated up, next thing we talking about, the McCraw's Ranch incident. Okay, now if you don't remember that, that's the place where Clementine rescued AJ, and it sounds like a big deal. Listen, we remember the scene, cause the cutscenes, they were tough, but honestly, it's just like we there. We don't know what happened. We don't even know what type of outbreak was going on. All we saw was bro face burning off, lady freaking out, and we had to take her off the planet and get AJ. I ain't gonna lie, that's one of my problems with the New Frontier. We get scenes like that. It's a good scene in itself, but I need some more meat on the bone. We just got Clem came in, saved AJ, nothing else. And if you remember, the game was kind of hyping this scene up the entire time, because the entire game of the New Frontier, we don't know where AJ yet. And for this scene to be this hyped up, we should have known a lot more about it, and it should have been longer. And listen, when you see the scene, it's clear they really scared of something, and something really putting these people in so much fear. Cause not only is dude face burnt off, the lady who was caretaking for AJ, she was freaking out like Clem was an enemy or something. So, hey, I'm just thinking maybe they saw a monster or something. Now we got the Garcia's family funeral. Now what I'm talking about with this, I'm talking about the little start. Listen, the intro is real tough. You get to see baby Mariana about to bring her pops a drink, and then all of a sudden they figure out that the pops done turned and he bit the mom on the face. If you remember, there's an uncle that they had. I guess it was Javier's uncle. We don't even know who bro is, But we saw in the little trailer that this man, he got bit. And we don't know what nothing after that though. Listen, of course we could assume that this man turned, but I feel like them showing that this man got bit, it really adds a layer of emotion that we should have saw. Like, we got a backstory for everybody else basically, except for the mom and this weird uncle guy. And it feels like he should have been way more prevalent in the story looking back on it. Cause, hey, I knew it had to be a little cool story connected to it. Cause listen, seeing how they dealt with loss, it probably would have built their character up a little more. We probably would have had a little more empathy towards Gabe, Kate, and Mariana. Listen, I know this one a little one. Wait, they could have spent like 30 seconds on it. It would have made the story a little better. Now, remember Vernon group? Listen, Vernon and his cancer group survived in season 1. They stole the boat and then dipped. Maybe they evaporated into the sea, but we never get to hear from them again. And listen, when I played Makona, I was anticipating them to be on a boat or something, because we was in a boat on that game. I was like, okay, this could be a nice little spinoff. And when I saw Vernon, I was finna punch him upside his head. But it would have been something good to see. Instead, this setup has never paid off, and we left without any closure to what happened to the group. But I ain't gonna lie, them boys, they was pushing 80 already, so you know, I ain't even mad at this one. Next up, we got James, his missing cult buddies. Now, in the final season, James, he talks about how he used to be in a group full of Walker Whisperers, and we never get to see them. Listen, it really makes you wonder about the whole world around them, because we ain't never seen that. And I feel like seeing them, it would have a whole new layer to the story. But then again, James could be making them up because he got some type of Walker kink. But hey, we don't know. But next though, let's talk about the 400 Days crew. Listen, these characters, you were invested in them in the DLC, and really the only thing they amount to is some of them ended up in Howie's, and all the rest just vanished. And it really felt like they were meant for something bigger. Listen, maybe they could have played a bigger part in Howie's. Maybe we could have actually experienced the daily life in Howie's and not just Reginald, but just see what they got up to and what they doing, and maybe just get a little bit more backstory to what they're having going on in their life. And in the 400 days, it seemed like they were really set up to be something a whole lot bigger than what they were, other than being on the screen for 2 seconds. Now the next one, you could say it wasn't a failed setup because they didn't really set it up to show us, but they told us, and I feel like we could have shot a flashback that would really brought the story together. And it would have made Minerva look like a way more interesting character. So in the final scene, Minerva reveals that she had to kill her own twin sister, Minnie. I feel like this, if they would have shown this and shown the type of environment that they were in, and we really got to saw what the war is about, it would have made the story a lot better. And it would have gave Minerva a whole new layer of detail. Usually when you say something tragic like that, give it a flashback. Us seeing it instead of just hearing it out someone's mouth, it's a whole lot different. Now for the next setup, we're going to be talking about what happened to Molly. Now at Molly, it's like, I thought we was bound to run into her at some point, but we didn't get a mention of her. We don't even say her name in any other game. Molly, she's just a forgotten character somehow. And honestly, she was an interesting character. It would have been cool to see a lot more from her, but we don't even get to see a glimpse of her at all, which is kind of crazy. But that's 10 subs that never paid off in The Walking Dead. And if I missed one, hey, let me know. But if you like the video, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you want it. Thanks for watching, and I got a whole lot of Walking Dead content on the channel, so give it a and so still rains. Hit the subscribe.